Yes,
only the distribution.
Only the distribution.
Not the generation and transmission. Yes,
the cost is 50 and they charge you more than 150. So the profit is 1 peso. And the ERC approves that.
So, in other words, we could, if they charge 60 centavos, that's still profit of 10 centavos. That's still billions.
Yes.
How many billions profit is that if it's 10 centavo profit? It's still billions. That's
2 billion. That's 2 billion.
That's 2 billion.
Yeah. 3 billion. But they charge us to 1 peso more than 2 pesos. So their profit is more than 25 billion.
That's just for distribution.
Yes,
we're stressing that. But these same people also have independent power producer companies that they say are not connected, but actually they're making profit there too.
Correct.
And downstream, they also have subsidiaries that maintain, collect, and so on,
and supply
materials and other
power
stations, transformers, and so on.
This ERC negligence, or should we say collusion with Meralco, is the worst graft-ridden agency that I can see, because a graft-ridden, let's say in customs, sometimes they are able to smuggle 1 billion or 1,000 million, but that is not constant, including the BIR.
That's right.
Because of their graft, so-called graft, sometimes they are able to cheat the government by several millions in 1 month or 1 year. But in the Meralco case, we are being charged, we are being robbed every minute of the day, whether we are sleeping or not.
That's right.
Because this is the worst graft-ridden agency of the government.
Yeah. So the only way to escape being victimized by the graft and the corruption of this setup is to go to the mountain and live without electricity.
At the same time, to fire out all those commissioners there.
That's, I think, the goal we will set.
Yes.
And earlier, before we started the program, Genaro said that the only reason why I am joining Buchunya and the others is they promised to bring this to court. So maybe go now to Buchunya. How are you going to bring this to court?
Well, first of all, Mentong, thank you very much for having us here again. And I am truly honored to share the same forum with my idol in electricity reform, si Genaro Luwalhati. You know, I've been observing and watching his moves in taming the electricity industry from the sidelines. It was only recently that I came forward to join him at the ramparts, as you might call it. But to go to the point about the legal action, we are indeed in talks with some lawyers groups, which we think can be very helpful, because we do feel that the solution to the problem cannot be obtained in only one arena, or in only one venue, or in only one forum. While we have some partners in reform who are doing litigation at ERC, and we're not going to give up on that. We have other groups that are doing advocacy. We also feel that in terms of litigation and policy in regular courts and policy in the House of Representatives or the Senate, somebody has to do that for us too.
Okay, speaking about the lawyers, I'd like to pay tribute to the late and Kapampangan. I think we have a lot of viewers in Pampanga. Attorney Teddy Macapagal, who was helping out Pete Ilagan and the ex-mayor Jun Simon in the cases. He passed away some time ago. In fact, the last discussion we had, we were discussing this fight, the legal fight. So Attorney Teddy Macapagal, wherever you are, thank you for your efforts. We will continue with this. Now, we have 2 minutes before our break. Give us also a picture now of the huge profits that they have been admitting in public, and we hope the public appreciates the gravity of these kinds of profits that Meralco is making from 2007, 2008, 2009, and now 2010. Please.
Well, you must have seen in the papers over the weekend the statement from Meralco about the 61% spike in their net income relative for the first 9 months relative to 2009 and for this 2010. the explanation that was put forward by Meralco includes references to generation, 50% increase in generation, shifts in transmission costs, and other of the variables. Let me just emphasize to our viewers that as far as the profitability of Meralco is concerned, being a utility in the distribution business, you should only look at the rates that they charge for DSM, this distribution, supply, and metering. If you are going to include generation, it is going to go against the principle that they should be revenue neutral as far as generation is concerned, it being just a pass-through cost. So, having said that now, you have to take a look at the 8 billion spike in their net income in relation to particularly the DSM charge that can only be the driver for that increase in revenue. You know, that increase should actually come only from two directions. First is if the market grew exponentially to explain a 61% spike in revenue, or if they achieved quantum levels of efficiency in service so that they are able to enjoy that kind of a margin. Otherwise, I can only suspect that that only came from rates.
Yes.
And I not only suspect, we can confirm it because prior to performance-based rate regulation, PBR, the DSM rate of Meralco was pretty much stable at about less than 1 peso.
When was the last time this, before this PBR was instituted?
In 2003, that was still RORB. The rate was 70 centavos. In 2007, it was still the RORB transitioning to PBR. It was 90 or 96 centavos.
Okay.
First increase of PBR in 2009 was 124.24.
Okay. We have a few seconds, 60 seconds now. So we must train the public to understand these terms. RORB, return on rate base. This changed to PBR, performance-based rate regulation. Now, before RORB was set at 12%.
Yeah.
Now, PBR now is set at how many percent allowable profit?
15.5%.
15.5%.
In fact, they relabeled it. They called it now WACC, weighted average cost of capital.
Yeah. And in fact, RORB, PBR, WACC really is still the same thing. It's how the public should be controlling
but, Mentong, this is what is significant.
Well, we're going to go on after this break. Okay, before that break, we were explaining, or Mr. Buchunya was explaining the rate setting mechanism from RORB to PBR, and now they're changing it to WAC, WAC.
WAC is a component of PBR.
Okay, and well, this is one of the strategies of the power plunderers, because they keep changing the term, so the public gets lost in following the issues, and they're misled, as Magnaro here says. Magnaro says there is a new development. He felt an urgency to bring this up. Then we'll go back to Butch. Yes, go ahead.
I would like to stress here now why there is a collusion between Meralco and ERC. This is very important because we are not talking here just to attack somebody, or the ERC or Meralco. In July 15, 2008, I personally filed a petition for 39 billion pesos refund to residentials. This for overcharges from 2004 to 2007. Do you know, sir, that from that time on until now, that petition was not resolved. But lately, in about August of this year, they were forced to resolve it because of another hearing, where we insisted that they first resolve that case before conducting evaluation of this case. So what they did was, this ERC, was to put out, after 4 years, put out a decision where they did not touch on the on the merits of the case. And after several paragraphs of nonsense, they come out with a decision that that claim for refund is deemed moot and academic.
Okay.
That's why we intend to file. I filed a motion for reconsideration. That was in May of this year. But until now, again, they do not want to resolve that.
And I think it has to be mentioned that there is a rule that they should resolve those issues in
Within
30 days.
30 days,
And
yes.
this is now 4 years.
Yes.
4 years. So